Now, this is the show tonight. We will be having a very special guest. After the successful reprint of the number one best-selling The Cask of Amontillado, we have here the author to share more about the behinds of the iconic novel. Here is Mr. Edgar Allan Wolt. Good evening, Mr. EA. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Jazz. I am truly honored to be here. Before we dig in, may I ask first what literary criticism is and why is it important? Well, you know what, Jess? Literary criticism does really help us in expounding the thought of literary pieces. When I critic, let's say, a book, a novel, or articles, especially news since I am a journalist, I always put in mind what the general impression does that particular piece exude. Thank you, Mister. Now, what about the format in critiquing a literature? Is there a guide that needs to be followed? Well, critiquing doesn't really have a fixed formula. As long as an interpretation is visible and the discussion of the plots is observed, then it already can be considered as literary criticisms. Although there are instances that some critics include philosophical theories, which is also great in giving useful insights to the readers. Thank you for that, sir. Now, what about literary criticisms and how did it come to be? It is thought to be existent since the classical period when Aristotle wrote a typology and description of literary forms with criticisms of contemporary artworks. I might be wrong with this, but I think it was poetics which developed mimesis and catharsis. In the Renaissance period, criticisms of Aristotle's book, the one that I talked earlier, were widely published and commentaries were released as well. On the other hand, the Romantic criticism period of the 19th century, aesthetic ideas emerged, breaking the norms of the usual beautiful, noble, and perfect literature. Meanwhile, the new criticism, the tables have turned by emphasizing close reading of text in elevating to generalized discussion and speculation about either authorial intention or reader response. Wow! It's quite amazing how literary criticism have gone a long way. Now, talking about your newly published reprint of The Cask of Amontillado, can you share us one of the most iconic lines in it? This particular scene in the carnival when Montresor was trying to convince Fortunato to try his Amontillado who was about to go somewhere else, he guilt-trapped Fortunato when he said, "As you are engaged, I am on way to Lucchesi. If anyone has a critical turn, it is he." In that moment, Fortunato immediately cut off Montresor by agreeing right away because maybe he doesn't want a second best after him when it comes to drinks. When we are trying to deceive someone, we always have to pull tricks in our sleeves. And to be honest, Montresor pulled a lame one. I mean, it would be understandable due to the circumstances, taking advantage of the alcohol influence inside Fortunato's veins, and Montresor would be able to perform his revenge. Personally, my inspiration here is pure anger. Because I don't know if you also noticed this, but when we are deeply angry at someone, we are always disguising anger into smiles. And that's what I usually do also. Well, as someone who is dealing with his anger issues, I agree. Now, what about the ending, sir? Can you share a bit of it to our viewers? Yeah, sure. The Cask of Amontillado. Whenever I would look back, I will always remember that I told myself that the ending of my book should be the name of the antagonist because I always wanted my story to create an impact that would remind my readers how valid their anger are towards their oppressors. Whenever I'll hear Montresor's voice in my head saying, "Fortunato," with a very loud and vengeful voice, I can't help but feel the opposite for Montresor. Because even if Montresor was wrong all along, because I know that murder is never justifiable, we can't deny how Montresor represents each of us who are abused, mistreated, and getting our dignity taken away from us. So that's my whole God. Thank you so much, really, for this opportunity, sir. And congratulations for the success of the reprint of the Cask of Amontillado. Do you want to promote anything? Go ahead. Yeah, first of all, thank you so much to my readers. I appreciate the kind comments and criticisms, and I do hope that you will still support me in my future endeavors. The Cask of Amontillado out now. That's Mr. Edgar Allan Wolt. For digital copies of the Cask of Amontillado, you can get your subscription at www.eapo.com.ph, and physical copies of the book are available in all bookstores nationwide. Once again, this is the show tonight. Good night.